Hello, I'm Cassandra and this is Cooking with Cass Rico. Happy Tuesday. I have a new recipe review for you. Let's get started. So this is a recipe review from someone who I have been following on Instagram for a couple of years now, and I'm pretty sure someone else sent me her page and I instantly fell in love with her food pictures and just the huge array of things that she cooked for her family. So I had to follow her, and I've been pinning her recipes for so long. And I've tried a pretty good amount of them. The cool thing is that I'm pretty sure she's either vegetarian or pescatarian, but she cooks for her family. So she's constantly putting out all types of different recipes, some that include meat, eggs, fish, chicken, all of it. But I usually just go through her ingredient list, and if it's enough things that I can substitute with plant-based ingredients, then I'll usually try it out. And I usually look at the comments and I'll see people ask her, like, can I use this instead of that? Can I use almond milk instead of regular milk? A lot of people don't realize a recipe is just a base so that you can go ahead, see what was used, and then use your creativity to use what you have or what you prefer. And I think if you don't cook, you don't understand that things can be swapped out and it'll be okay. Of course, if something calls for egg and it's a very specific reason why you need that egg, then you need to research what other ingredient will give you that. Is this egg being used as a binder? Is it being used to puff up an ingredient? So those are the things an easy Google search will help you with. But as far as like anything else, milk, cheese, butter, you can always substitute that for a plant-based version, especially because the plant-based versions are so great these days. I'm always so impressed by the things you get from the grocery store and you're like, there's no way this is gonna taste the same, and it does. So her name is Diane Morrisey. I will link her Instagram below in my description. You will love, even if you are plant-based, I just think her food is just so visually appealing and she's so festive. I love during the holidays how she's constantly uploading such cute foods and making it about the holiday. That's always so fun to see. So in light of St. Patrick's Day, which happens to be this week, in case you didn't know, I wanted to try one of her Irish dishes that she posted. I did post a vegan version of a shepherd's pie that I created last week, and I will leave the link to that at the end of this video if you're interested. So this is another potato dish, and I'm starting to see that Irish people really love their potatoes as I do. So I'm just very excited to get into this and have such a delicious dinner tonight. I'm actually in the middle of making it now. I have my potatoes boiling on the stove, and as soon as I'm done introducing this to you, I will get going on cutting all the greens and getting started on that. So this recipe is called Colcannon. I did have to go on YouTube and look up how to say that, so I hope I'm saying it right. Colcannon. And it is a traditional Irish potato dish, and it looks fancy. At least the way she posted it, it looked so great. And then I read through the ingredients and I'm like, oh, this is pretty doable. In her caption, she wrote that there are as many Colcannon recipes as there are cooks in Ireland. So just keep that in mind when you're watching this. If there's something that you usually do different, that's the great thing about cooking. We all have our own variations, and for the most part, I don't think you could ever be wrong with cooking. So this is a dish that consists of potatoes, shredded cabbage, cream, scallions, leeks, parsley. The cool thing is that I've never used leeks before. I did go out and buy some for this recipe, and I'm so shocked that I've never tried them myself. They are a part of the onion family. I love onions, any type, any kind, any size. I'm a little disappointed that I haven't gotten to this yet, but today I'll get to see what they're really like. Cabbage. I've always have cabbage here, and it's so good for you. I love putting it in as many things as I can. So with that, that was easy. I'm excited to throw that into a big pot of potatoes. It's just so filling, and it'll really add to the richness of this dish. For the milk, I'm going to use soy milk instead because soy milk just happens to be heavier. And for the heavy cream, I'm going to make my own cream out of cashews. I do have a recipe similar to what I'll be doing with that today already on my channel, but I'm just soaking cashews right now. I'm going to blend it with some soy milk. I might add a little bit of nutritional yeast just to give it some more denseness. I haven't decided yet, but that'll be my heavy cream. And I'm using plant-based butter. That's pretty much all that I have to substitute to make this a plant-based dish, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna come out tasting just as wonderful as hers looks. One more thing I also wanted to note before I forget, this is a plant-based version. I will not be using bacon in mine, and as a matter of fact, she didn't use bacon in hers either. So please don't come for me if you don't see the bacon. I'm not using mock bacon, none of it. And I am only addressing this because I cannot tell you how many comments I saw on YouTube after searching this recipe. People were really upset when they didn't see bacon in it. So full disclosure, no bacon will be used today. And did you catch the green? I got my festive gear for this week. I won't be going out celebrating, unfortunately, but I will be here celebrating with you all. Follow me to the kitchen. We'll get started. I'll be getting this going, and I'll come back to review and give you my opinion on whether I like this very famous traditional Irish dish or not. So let's go. so fresh, and it just did something to the mashed potatoes that I can't really explain. You'll have to try it yourself, but it just smelled like you grabbed these green, fresh veggies straight out of a garden and put them into these potatoes, and there was just so much life that came with them, and it was just such a flavor that I'm not so used to with mashed potatoes, or really anything. Maybe that's just because I haven't had leeks before, and it could be the parsley and the scallions that you throw in when they're raw, but it was such a pleasure, and the smell. You guys have to try this recipe out. Alrighty, I am back, and I have not eaten dinner yet, but I have had enough of this, enough spoonfuls to review this dish. First of all, that was the easiest thing I've ever made. It is so quick, so basic, straight to the point, just how I like it. The thing that took the longest was boiling the potatoes. Like, it was so great. Once you get everything chopped up and ready to go into the frying pan with butter and oil, it goes so quickly, and it was so good. So I did mention that she cooks for her family, so I know she makes large batches of food. Here I am only cooking for myself and one other person, so I kind of altered the recipe just a bit. She recommends 3 to 4 pounds of potatoes, and I just didn't think we needed that many, so I used 4 large potatoes, which, I mean, it came out plenty. Like, this was perfect. And I figured that if I just use the same measurements for everything else, I'm just gonna end up with mashed potatoes that have way more cabbage and greens, and I was okay with that. I love vegetables, as I've stated so many times on this channel. So I just took it as, if it comes off, the ratio's a little off, it's okay. I don't mind having extra vegetables in it. And I didn't use as much butter just because, I don't know, I'm okay with less is more for me. And I felt like I was already using a lot of butter, so I might have added like 4 tablespoons of butter versus 6, but it came out great. The leeks, oh my gosh, I had no idea how similar they are to onion. Even chopping them up, you could smell it, and it was just smelled like pure onion. It even made my eyes water. I can't even remember the last time I cried cutting an onion before, but they were running down my face. And I really don't use parsley that much. I forgot how strong parsley is and how that smell is like one of a kind. So I really tried to finely chop that in there. My boyfriend has a cilantro sensitivity. Unfortunately, he's one of those people, and I just didn't know if it carried over with parsley. So that was interesting. I didn't realize how little I used that, but as I was cutting it, it's like, it's very potent. Everything blended so well, so good. This is my new favorite way to eat mashed potatoes. I probably won't ever go back to just having plain old potatoes with nothing on them. And the reason we haven't eaten dinner yet is because I am in the middle of another recipe of hers. I'm making Swedish meatballs, and I have the gravy simmering right now. I just really I knew I wanted meatballs tonight, and I just went on her page and dug around until I found something that looked so good. I am telling you, check out her page. You will not be disappointed. It is just a big, humongous portfolio of foods you will want to pin and try yourself. So that's about it. The funny thing is, with these meatballs, she serves them with mashed potatoes and green beans. So I had it in my head that I was going to make green beans with shallots. And then once my mashed potatoes were done, I'm like, there's plenty of greens in here. So I'm just going to keep it simple with the mashed potatoes and the meatballs. And maybe I'll turn this into another recipe review for next week. So stay tuned. You might catch another one of her recipes. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm sorry about all the pitter patter that you hear. We have the dogs walking around on the hardwood floors being nosy. So basically, this was a 10 for 10. I really enjoyed it. It was so cool because I really have never had it before. I've never seen it. I just didn't even know it was a thing. I love trying new things out, and I love seeing what people do around the world with ingredients that we all use. And I am for sure going to be making this much more. Alan hasn't tried it yet because, like I said, dinner's not done. So if he feels a certain type of way about it, I will let you know. But I'm pretty sure he'll be very happy with this dinner tonight. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for catching another recipe review. I will have another one for you next Tuesday. I look forward to seeing you then. Drop a line. Let me know if you're going to try this out yourself. And if I find a website or a blog of hers with recipes, I will also make sure to link that as well. So take care. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Don't forget to wear your green. And please be safe. Enjoy all the green beer out there. Have a great week, and I will see you again.